Hello everyone, welcome back to another vlog. We're currently going grocery shopping because it's the day before we're supposed to leave for Paso. And I'm not sure about you, but I do need food. Hello everyone, I thought I'd bring you back for another show vlog. We're just starting out the day before we're supposed to go down. So today is Tuesday and we're heading on Wednesday. I thought I would take you with me packing. So I just came back from grocery shopping and we're in Tag and Feed, which is a local tack store. And all of my riding pants, they're really old. I've been using them for several years now, and riding 4 days a week for like 2-3 years, they get pretty worn down quite quickly. So we got a whole bunch of new riding pants for the show. So I thought I would just show you our little riding pant collection. Okay, so our first pair of riding pants I got are the Carrots Thermo full leg tech tight pants. So these are just leggings, super stretchy and super comfy, so probably more like scoring pants. I might show them, we'll see. Next up, we have yet another pair of the Carrots leggings. These ones are black, which I really like, a nice neutral color, and I feel like it'll look really good with the mint. I don't know, it's a pretty bright color, so this will kind of tone it down a little better, maybe make it pop out. So this is the Carrots Freestyle Pocket Tight. So yes, I'll unfold for you. It is super stretchy and light. These I'll definitely be bringing to the show. I like them quite a bit. And once again, they also have the Carrots grip on the inside of the legs, so keep me on my pony. And our next pair of riding pants are, you guessed it, more Carrots, because as you can tell, I'm a big fan. These ones are a little bit more formal, a little bit more classy, have the belt loop so you can stick a belt through them. I am really looking forward to wearing these. They're super comfortable. They have this sort of like ventilation and stretch at the lower leg, which I really like, and also have the traditional sort of Carrot signature brand grip marks, like in the shape of carrots, which I think is really cute. So I'll definitely be looking forward to wearing these. So for reference, they are called the Affinity Ice Fill Knee Patch Breech and Sand Color. So I'm so excited for the show. It's the first show of the season. A little nervous, dusting off the cobwebs. Yeah, but I think it'll be good. I'm really looking forward to it. So Valentine has already headed down there. He left Monday, I believe, and one of my trainers is going to be riding him in just a class before I get there. Work out any kinks, just, help me out since I couldn't come down until tomorrow. But yes, I am so excited. So I thought I'd take you through everything that I've packed. A nice white shirt and my show jacket, another white shirt, another pair of pants in case we enter in a more formal class. I don't think it's gonna happen, but good to be prepared. My 2 regular riding shirts for competition days, they both match my saddle pads, which I'll show in a minute. You're probably thinking, wow, for like 5 days of competition, that does not seem like enough shirts. Well, yes, but I do have one other that's going to be in the wash. I don't have actually all that many shirts, so we're probably going to have to hand wash them at the hotel. I have my 2 pairs of Lemieux riding breeches, which are probably my favorites. I really like the color. They're super sticky and super comfortable to wear. 2 pairs of Squirrel and Carrots pants that I just showed you earlier. Those were the ones I bought. 2 pairs of new tan competition breeches, so I'll get to wear those, try them out. And then I have pairs of leggings for sort of regular, just walking around, and then more casual outfit, or more formal outfits in case we end up going out to dinner, sort of more casual walking around shirts, pair of shorts, baggy t-shirts for lounging around the hotel, fuzzy sweatshirt, bathing suit, pajamas, and of course another new fuzzy sweatshirt to keep me warm at night, or just, if it turns chilly. So you're probably thinking, wow, that is a lot of clothes, for only 6 days? But yes, it's 6 days. So you're probably thinking, wow, Sophia, that is a lot of clothes. Well, yeah, but we're going for like 6 days or so, Oh, I'm so clumsy. I dropped my phone. Poor phone. Oh, would you look at that? I am all packed and ready to go. Magic. All right, I am all packed and ready to go. So I've got my super comfy duffel bag seat right here and my lovely show coat, which I've had for, I think, 2 years now, a year, something like that. But I gotta say, I love it. It's probably the best show coat I've ever had. It's mesh and super breathable. So see, you can see through it. Okay, how many fingers am I holding up? Guess in the comments. Yeah, so all ready, and now it is time to pack for Valentine, because while I did pack my tack junk earlier, I think I showed that in my last video, I still have some stuff that I need to bring from home, and also I just didn't have time to put it in the tack trunk. It's a bit chaotic. I didn't realize we were loading the tack trunk so soon, and Valentine was still in the cross ties because I was giving him a bath. So I didn't pack my cross ties. That's at home. I still need to pack my saddle because it does fit my tack trunk, and my saddle pads and ear bonnets. It's a bit of a mess. So let's go do that. Okay, so I grabbed my 2 saddle pads from the wash, as well as the fly bonnets that I will be bringing. Okay, so I grabbed the 2 saddle pads that I'll be bringing, as well as the fly bonnet. Oh my god. Okay, so I just came back from the laundry. Fucking hell. Okay, so I just came back from the laundry room where my 2 saddle pads that I'll be bringing, as well as the ear bonnets, were being washed. And I thought I'd show you the 2 saddle pads. Mint, I think it's like the CC square cut. I don't actually know what it's called. Yes, I really like this one. It's probably like one of my all-time favorite colors, as well as the little matching fly bonnet that I have. And that is my first one. And I'm also bringing the Lorar Wisteria, which is one of the new spring summer collections, as well as the matching ear bonnet. So unfortunately, I did get the wrong size in the ear bonnet. I'm a little worried that's going to be too big for Val, but we'll see. He does have quite big ears, so you know, fingers crossed that it'll work. Either way, it's super cute and shiny. So I don't know if anyone else has this problem, but like, I just washed saddle pads. It still has hair on it. And to hold all of my stuff, I will be using my trusty IKEA bag. Packing in style. I thought I'd show you everything that I packed for Valentine's. So we have also rags for cleaning him and tack. Also glad that he's quite ulcer prone, so we packed a couple of those tubes. And then here is a like saddle rack that can kind of hook onto the stall door. And then a grain lick was originally a birthday present for Val, which was February 14th, but unfortunately was eaten by the dogs before I got a chance to give it to them, including that dog right there. So we brought that so he has something to do when he's in the stall, if he gets bored or nervous or whatever. Saddle pads, saddle rack, cross ties, because some of the cross ties at shows aren't breakaway, and I like using breakaway cross ties. Just feel like it's a little safer. So yeah, that's it in our trusty IKEA bag. Woo! I was packing tons of hair ties because if you haven't noticed, I have a lot of hair and it takes a lot to tie it all together. Also, you can just, you know, never have enough of these. I gave it a vacuum to the surfaces just because mice can kind of get in there and make it smell really bad, and tried to give it a bit of a spruce just before we, you know, travel 4 hours in it. But the excitement is building. Yes, I'm so excited. Woo!
Proof she is excited.
And then finally, after much anticipation, we were on the road.
4,000.
Here we go again, back to beginning. Another day, still the same feeling. We're bigger than, stronger than prisons. Pick another way and try to find your reason. Jumping on the clouds, singing for the dawn. Ripping all your lost, cleaning all your thoughts. Here we go again. Jumping on the clouds, singing for the dawn. Ripping all your lost, cleaning all your thoughts. Here we go again.
By this point, we had been driving for about 4 hours, and I was getting quite tired of sitting and quite bored. Luckily, Paso was quite close. here he is. So I'm preparing his dinner, and yeah, I took him for a really nice long walk, and I think he enjoyed it quite a bit. Hey, Zipper, sure, you did. That was rude. So I thought I should read the game plan for tomorrow. So basically we are going to do a points in the jumper class, just as like a warm-up class because I didn't Latin today, and we're kind of just throwing ourselves into the show. And then we're going to step up to point 80, so we'll see how that goes. And I'm feeling pretty... Wow. Wow. He tried to rub his face on the bucket and ended up spilling water on himself. Oh, Val. Yeah, my pony's special. He's a special boy. He doesn't have any brains anymore. Oh, also, he got clipped, so, and he's looking super show ready. So I know how I was saying that he looked like a field pony. Now he's looking a lot more fancy, which is good, so. Here is the fit, so got his whiskers nice and trimmed. I'm showing you the clean whiskers. So apparently my job was adequate, and all of his ear hair is gone. Look at that nice clean hair. And yeah, his coat got a bit of a clip, just make it a lot more smooth. But they left his nail alone, thank goodness, because it takes a while. Look at the snowy white. So clean. Wish it could be like that all the time. So now it's time to do his sash muster, because he does smell a bit thrushy, and I wanted to keep that nasty fungus out of his hooves. So, pony, side eye. Then I became my pony's personal treat dispenser. I think it's safe to say that he really enjoyed this ball. Once I made sure that Val was all ready for bed with a clean stall, food, water, and his blankie, because it was quite chilly despite it being in Southern California. Then I said goodnight to him because we did have quite an early start the next day. Here's the hotel and me waiting in the hallway because the key to our hotel room did not work. I was also quite tired. We're gonna go head down and get some dinner. Hello. Okay, so last update for tonight. We are now in the hotel room. I had a shower, had dinner, getting ready for bed. We do have a bit of an early start tomorrow. I think we have to wake up at like 5:30 or something like that because my first class is, quite early in the morning as well. I'm doing just like a warm-up class, the point 70, and then we'll move to the point 80, which is quite exciting. So yes, I will see you in the morning. Good night. The early morning did not agree with me, and yes, the clock is wrong. Here's the early morning show fit. So yes, I am wearing my carrots frying pants and Lemire mint set. I thought I'd do a little voiceover of our first round in the point 70s. This was our first day, so he was a bit looky, but in the warm-up he was jumping phenomenally. So I head towards our first fence, and we chipped in a little bit there, but I kind of sent him forward. For some reason I didn't take the inside track, so that cost us a bit of time, but he sort of spooked at the rail and I got his attention. We were on the wrong lead, so did a little simple change there, and we're going towards our second fence. Alright, we jumped that one much better, and he's just like over jumping everything, but his knees are really cute, so. See, did you see those knees? He did a nice little lead change there, and I don't know what I'm doing. I really don't. I was kind of just pulling on his face for some reason. I think I thought he was on the wrong lead, and we chipped in once again to that. I wasn't really helping him out here, and then it was this fence that he just... beautiful. It was so beautiful, and he did like a super clean lead change after that, and that was when we sort of started to click and I sent him forward, so we jumped that really nicely, and I think we got 7 down this line. Okay, and then we head to our next fence, and we jumped that quite nicely. He helps me out there a little bit, and we come towards our last fence, and we jump that beautifully. Now here's where it goes wrong. I turned right. I should have turned left because I didn't know where the timers were. And the judge is like, what are you doing? Go towards the timer. You probably did notice that he is bronching a bit. That's because circling too tightly puts pressure on his sort of arthritic stifle, and he was saying, ouch, that hurts. So that is something we're going to look into. I recognize that that is not a normal sign for him, and it didn't happen again after that, but ultimately we did end up getting 8th place, which was great. I thought we had been eliminated, but we weren't, so that's good. We ultimately decided not to do the point 80 that day, just to save him for the rest of the week, since we were doing quite a few days of showing. Look at that cute little wobble lip of his. We untacked him and brought him back to his stall.
I have a cookie for the pony. It's so suspicious. You like it? What do we think?
Once I cleaned my tack and he had rested a bit, we took him out for another walk since he doesn't have a paddock from his stall. Now by this point I was quite tired, so I sat down in a nice comfy pile of his shavings while he had a snooze and I rested a bit. Once we had our energy back, we went for another walk. Now he had dinner and it was time to say goodnight to the best boy.
Oh, the stinkle.
I even got to push the elevator button. You guessed it, another early morning wake-up call.
Hello. Good morning. Good morning, Val.
And here's Val embracing a new fashion style.
You look very handsome.
Okay, so here's our second day of showing, another .70 round before we move up to the .80s. Okay, so we head towards our first fence, and we jump over it, and this was supposed to be a 7, but we ended up getting an 8 because I held back a bit, and we jumped over that oxer quite nicely, and my confidence was definitely starting to grow. I was like, okay, pony, we got this. So we come, and that oxer was quite nice. I got a little left behind there, but that's okay. And we jumped this oxer quite nicely. Look at his little knees, he really just pinged over that. This fence was okay. We jumped it on a bit of an angle, but Val handled it well. Okay, so we chipped into this fence a little bit. Thanks, Val, for helping me out. Then I sent him forward, and we get a little string out, which causes us to take a absolute flyer to this oxer. But Val was super and jumped over it really nicely. And then we jump over that quite nicely, and he has a little stumble there, which was odd, but, you know, he can be a bit clumsy sometimes. And then we chipped into that oxer, but it was okay. Pats for the best boy. Okay, so we put Val back in the stall for a quick break before our next class, and he discovered this new weird face that he makes where he really widens his eyes and just pricks his ears. It's definitely one of his more bizarre expressions. Okay, so we approach the first fence, and we do tap it, and I think that it went down, so that's why I look behind me. And then we fly over this oxer really nicely. We actually did end up getting the 7 in that line, which I was super happy about. We go around this turn on the inside track and just jump over that oxer super nicely. And yeah, so I was very happy with that. He has a little funky little lead change there. I'm not sure why he did that, but it was probably my fault. And we pop over that nicely. And then we come around to this oxer, and you can't really tell, but he jumped it perfectly. It was super nice. And then we fly over that. We're a lot more straight to that fence this time. And I send him forward, and that was my mistake. I did chip into this, and he helped me out. He got me out of there. And we sort of redeemed ourselves by popping over that oxer quite nicely. A little deep, but it was all right all around. For some reason, I took the outside turn. I'm really not sure why, but I did. And that was actually where we still ended up having a rail there, which was unfortunate. Although I feel like we made up for it because we just flew over this last oxer, and I was so proud of him for helping me around our first .80 together. Okay, then I put Valentine back in his stall for a nice rest before it was my turn to go on a little trip. Poly, a college a little ways south of where we were. I really enjoyed meeting all of the horses there. They were so sweet. Then we went out for dinner with the rest of the barn. After that, I decided to take Valentine on a walk during sunset. Then I gave him another cookie and a kiss goodnight. So we started off our early morning getting breakfast at Starbucks. Then it was time to drive over to the horse park. The sunrise was absolutely beautiful. So I thought I'd show you how I walk my course. And then back it around. I'm gonna go through this inside turn here. And swing out a little bit to get straight to my blue. So now a couple steps. This turn is going to be very fun. So I have to stay inside this orange and essentially push him out. It's the turn. Pony's good. Short practice. Yellow. Red. Keep walking. Over there. Maybe. Okay, now from here. Our winters. Inside turn. Walking. Inside turn. Out. My green. Get straight. Myself a few strides. The green to my other green. And we're done. Okay, so now it's time to get Valentine all tacked up for our first class, which is a warm-up in the .70. Spoiler alert, this round was a bit disastrous. Alright, so we head towards our first fence. Valentine's feeling a little behind my leg this morning, but I try and get him as jazzed up as I can. And it's a long approach to an oxer, so that's our first fence. And we come at it, and Valentine just sort of flops over it, and I get launched because we have absolutely no impulsion to that first fence. I'm like, okay, time to light the fire. And we really chip into that fence too. I'm like, come on, get on, Val, get on. He just isn't jumping as well as he had been the previous days, which makes sense because he could be tired. So we chip into that fence and come around to this one, which, surprise, surprise, we kind of flop over it. And Val sort of starts crow hopping a bit. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. He normally doesn't do that. And we're going to the next jump, which is an oxer, and we have no impulsion, and I really think that he's going to stop. And even the judge is like clicking at us to try and get Val to go over the fence, and somehow we make it over. I take a really weird approach to that fence, and we bunny hop over it, and I'm like, okay, Val, come on, get on, let's try and get over, improve things a bit. And we chip into that oxer and just sort of humpty dump over it. So we come around to this, which I also angle, and that was actually probably our best fence out of the whole course. We come to the last fence and chip in, and it was slightly better, but not great. Okay, so I headed into this round feeling completely underprepared. We did figure out that Valentine's saddle had slipped too far back because his girth was too big for him, so that solved that problem, but he was still a bit behind my leg. I gave him a little tap coming into this first fence, and you can kind of see that because he kicks up his bum a little bit, but yeah, that was just to get us going for the first oxer. After that, I felt like we had made it over the first fence, and things were going smoothly, so my confidence was definitely going up. We just flew over that oxer quite nicely, and so we come around to our next fence, which had been causing us a bit of trouble, and there it still gave us a challenge because we sort of flopped over it, and we came to this next fence and jumped it quite nicely. You can't really see because of the standard, but it was a good jump. Over the next fence, he really put the effort in, and my 14.1 hand pony popped me out of the tack. We came to this next fence, which we had struggled with in the other round, and we jumped that a bit better. He had to help me out there since I angled it, but he was good. And then over this next fence, we just flew over it. And I was really happy with that one. His tail swish was very satisfying. And this fence, we did chip into it and it was a bit awkward, similar to our last round, so that's something we will have to work on. And this was my favorite jump. He just flew over. It felt like we were flying. And we came to our next fence a little bit wiggly, but we jumped it quite nicely in the end. And then I did remember to turn the right direction. We went through the timers. We went clear for our second time ever in the .80s.
Best boy jump to clear around the 80s. Woo! Fresh snoots ever. Best snoot ever. Now he wants to lick my hand.
After that, Val was done for the day, so we went to watch my trainer ride her horse Solo in the meter 20s. They did end up retiring after the first fence because Solo was in a new bed and he just wasn't comfortable. She also rode her other horse, Elliot, the big gray, in the meter 20s and had a great clear round. Then my family and I decided to go get lunch, where my trainer's dog was barking at the food truck. Next day, we had one more class before Valentine was set to go home. This was the $500 .80 classic, so we did have to get a bit more dressed up for it. Side note, this is the jump off because my mom forgot to record my main round. Okay, so I did end up loosening his shoulder through this turn, which made the turn quite a bit wider than it needed to be. That being said, we did jump the next fence quite nicely, so I'm super proud of that. I do think I did a good job of sitting up and helping him balance through this turn. For the next line, it walked as a horse 6, but we got 7 despite getting 8 in the first round. He is a pony after all. That jump was really nice. And we come here, and at this point, I sort of forget where I'm going after this next fence, which I'm not really riding to it, and we kind of just flop over it. And we did end up having a rail there, unfortunately, which was completely my fault. But we flew over this next fence, and he was super good. After that, we got lunch before our long 4-hour drive back home. Goodbye, Paso Robles Horse Park. Val and I got home safe and sound. This was a super successful first show of the season, and I'm so proud of both of us. Thanks for watching. Bye!
Free.